Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be Deadpool 2, number 2 would be Avengers Infinity War, number 3 would be Life of the Party, number 4 would be Show Dogs, and number 5 would be Book Club. And I only got 2 out of 5 of my predictions right this weekend, and I kind of expected that because there were some choices I made in the predictions that were entirely wrong here, so I knew that they were risky choices. I just tried to guess, and I messed up. So let's go on with what actually happened in the overall top 10. Number 1 was, of course, Deadpool 2. Now, compared to the first film, it made a little bit less, but it's actually not that bad, honestly, if you think about it. It made $125 million this weekend, and worldwide it is already sitting at $301 million. Now, if you look at its budget of $110 million, double that 220, it's already made $81 million over its doubling point budget, so that is very good for this film. It's already off to a great start, and I think mainly the reason why it got a little bit lower than the first Deadpool, maybe it's because of the competition with Infinity War. There are still a lot of people going out to see that film after all, as we'll discuss in a minute. Or maybe it is just a little bit of Deadpool fatigue. Maybe some people didn't really like the character in the first film. Either way, I think this is still a really great starter for this film. Like, it honestly really is a pretty good start for the film, only dropping comparatively to the first film's opening weekend like about $7 million. Like, that's not bad at all. Number 2, we have Avengers Infinity War, however, making $28 million, adding to a domestic total of $595 million. It is almost at $600 million domestically. That's very good. And on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $1.813 billion. So it needs about $200 million more to get to $2 billion worldwide. I'm thinking actually, it might be able to do that. I'm not sure. Once again, I'm not sure if it's releasing in any other places worldwide as of right now. But I do think that it does have a huge chance of getting past $2 billion worldwide. I'm really interested to see when it comes down to the number 10 spot or somewhere near the bottom of the top 10, how much it's going to have by the end of its overall domestic and worldwide run. But so far, it is still looking like it is going to be one of the biggest films of all time, because it already is, but it's still making so much more money and it's passing so many other films on the charts ahead of it, so that's very good. Moving on to number 3, a big surprise for me, Book Club. I didn't know how many people knew about this movie, but apparently $12 million worth of people knew about it, and this is also not even like a bad opening for it. It's actually pretty good because its budget is around $10 million and it only needs $8 million right now to double it. So Book Club actually is a surprise for me. I didn't expect that many people to know about it because I only saw one trailer for it in the movie theater actually, and I didn't look for it online or anything like that, so good job, Book Club, I guess. Moving on to number 4, we have Life of the Party, making $7 million, adding to a domestic total of $31 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $36 million. It still needs about $24 million to double its $30 million budget, and I think it will be able to do that. Now, as I said before, domestically, it's going to make a little bit more here, but I think worldwide, the overall total with that will be able to get it past that $60 million budget limit. So, good job, Melissa McCarthy, continuing to make terrible movies with your husband, and then you make a lot of money off of it. Great job. Moving on to number 5, we have Breaking In, holding on better than I thought it did, making $6.4 million, adding to a domestic total of $28 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $30 million. Now, as I talked about last weekend, its budget is only about $6 million, so obviously double that, it's still making a profit here, and I'm glad for it. Like, obviously, I want to wish any film crew happiness when their film does well. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't offer an opinion on its quality or what this says about the state of cinema or anything like that. All I know is that it's doing pretty well for itself. It was coming out for Mother's Day weekend and try to cash in on that theme, but now there's still some people still going out to see it, so good job, Breaking In. You're holding out better than I thought. Number 6, Show Dogs. Didn't even make the top 5, and I thought it would make number 4. Wow. Made $6.0 million this weekend on a budget of, I'm not sure, maybe around the same budget as Beverly Hills Chihuahua, because the same director is doing that. I honestly don't really know. I was right, though, sort of, as far as like comparing it to 9 Lives, because I think 9 Lives opened with around $6 million too on its opening weekend, so I wasn't off with that, but it's still didn't make the top 5 like I predicted it would, but honestly, I don't blame anyone for not pushing it into the top 5 because from what I've seen, this film was garbage. Moving on to number 7, we have Overboard, making 4.7 million, adding to a domestic total of 36 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at 49 million. So it's almost at half 100 million worldwide. That's pretty good for Overboard. Still don't know what to say as far as quality because I haven't seen it, and like, there's nothing else to add. Let's move on to number 8, which is A Quiet Place, making 4.0 million, adding to a domestic total of 176 million, and on the worldwide chart, so close, it is sitting at 296. It needs 4 million more to get to 300 million worldwide, and I think it's going to be able to do that here next week, because the only movie that's coming out is really Solo, and like, that's not really a huge competition piece as far as like knocking everything out, so I think A Quiet Place is still going to be able to make that 4 million and get to 300 million worldwide, which is very good. I would love to see that happen. Number 9, we have Rampage, making 1.5 million, adding to a domestic total of 92 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at 406 million. It's about to leave the top 10, and I think it's going to be here next weekend, but it's still only at 92 million, and I just don't think it's going to get to like 100 million before it leaves, so sorry, Dwayne, but at least worldwide, your movie did very well. Like, just look at the worldwide numbers, never look at the domestic numbers. And finally, closing out the number 10 spot is RBG, the same number 10 as last weekend. What the heck? It made 1.2 million, adding to a domestic total of 3 million. So good job, documentary, that I still know nothing about. Now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5, and by fun part, I mean easy part, because number 1 is going to be Solo, a Star Wars story, and then I think number 2 will be Deadpool 2, number 3, Avengers Infinity War, number 4, Book Club, and number 5, Life of the Party. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave it in the comments below, and if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry, and as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.